Hey Rail fans, I'm Deanne with RailfanDepot.com. Today we're looking at the largest, most powerful diesel locomotive series ever to hit the rails. Today we talk Union Pacific's DDA40X.
Find a spare couple of minutes and grab a beverage. It's Sunday morning coffee and trains with Deanne.
If you've already subscribed, welcome back, Railfan. If you've not subscribed, we'd love to have you on board. The video we're looking at today is the Union Pacific 6900s, the Centennials by Pentrix. A link is in the description below. I've got my Centennial mug. Let's go.
For many years, Union Pacific had been working with diesel-electric locomotives. These early power plants, like the F units, ran reliably and efficiently, but lacked horsepower. The obvious solution was to place two of these engines on a single chassis. In 1963, General Motors' Electromotive division was to produce the forerunner and set the standards for the twin-engine diesels that were to follow. With its pioneering DD35s, EMD had combined two 16-cylinder engines to produce 5,000 horsepower. As the variety and size and type of diesels grew, Union Pacific was quick to recognize that, unlike with steam locomotives, maintenance costs on diesels were about the same regardless of horsepower or physical size. Replacing four 1,500 horsepower units with one 6,000 horsepower unit would reduce maintenance costs by up to 75%. David Newhart, Chief Mechanical Officer for Union Pacific, began directing his railroad's energies to building the largest, most maintenance-free locomotives possible. Working with General Electric, the gas turbine locomotive was refined and helped carry the railroad through the 1950s. As these units reached the end of their economic lifespan, Newhart set back to work. Together with GE and the American Locomotive Company, Newhart and his staff designed a system using standard 2,500 horsepower diesel generator sets. Two of these units could be mounted atop the span-bolstered trucks of the soon-to-be-retired turbines. GE's unit was called the U50 and featured two U25Bs in one car body. The U50 was easily recognized with its high, snub-nosed cab. Alco used a pair of its 2,750 horsepower 251C engines to create the more powerful Century 855. These locomotives, made in 1964, generated 5,500 horsepower. Alco, closing in 1969, left the 855 an engine with no future. As the complex underframe of the U50Bs began to require more frequent maintenance, once again, Newhart turned to GE and EMD for help. General Electric came back with the U50C, similar to the U50B, but using 12-cylinder engines instead of 16-cylinder and a shorter chassis. But David Newhart wanted an even bigger locomotive. It was at the very progressive design shops at EMD that the concept for the world's most powerful land vehicle was realized. Union Pacific was soon to be the owner of the most powerful steam and diesel locomotives ever placed in service. In cooperation with Newhart and his staff, EMD rolled out the first of the DDA40Xs in 1969. The standard 16-cylinder engines had been boosted from 3,000 to 3,500 horsepower, with the DD40 weighing in at 545,000 pounds, 5 times the weight of a fully loaded Boeing 727.
The first DDA40X was delivered in 1969, just in time for the Union Pacific to feature it in their celebration of the 100-year anniversary of the driving of the Golden Spike. They arrived in that centennial year, and so UP dubbed them the Centennials.
By the end of 1969, 25 Centennials were hauling freight for the Union Pacific. The low-maintenance design of the 6900s proved effective as they logged 21,000 miles a month throughout the system. 6900 herself, pressed into freight service immediately after the Golden Spike celebration, turned in 220,000 miles in her first year, twice the distance of other types of freight units in service. The hallmark of the DD40s is the incorporation of many state-of-the-art features in their advanced electrical systems. From its inception, Newhart insisted that the DD40 must be as maintenance-free and easy to service as possible. Load checks can be done by one workman in minutes by flipping one switch, replacing a procedure requiring a trackside load box and 2 to 3 hours. Modular electrical components allow a few spare circuit cards to replace a truckload of components. A visual record of the triggering of any warning device is kept so intermittent malfunctions can be noted. New circuitry allows the traction motors to be permanently connected in parallel. With the elimination of contactors, coils, and connectors, efficiency is increased and an entire range of problems is avoided. An automatic electrically heated windshield was borrowed from jetliner technology. Other innovations include preheating fuel using a heat exchanger. This allows the use of a single grade of fuel system-wide throughout the year. Automatic dump valves on the cooling system prevent freezing of the engine and air compressors.
If you're watching on YouTube, we invite you to our Facebook page where we have a free video clip every day. If you're watching on Facebook, join us over on YouTube. We call this Sunday Morning Coffee and Trains, but I guess anytime you can grab a few minutes and relax is a good time for coffee and trains. If you enjoy this, how about a like or a love? And leave a comment below. We always read the comments. Years after delivery, these double diesel monsters are still the largest and most powerful diesels to ever pull a train. 13 Centennials have been preserved, including one kept in working order by the Union Pacific. 6936 is used by the UP on special occasions.
The delivery of the 47th and last Centennial in September 1971 marks the culmination of an era in railroad technology. 13 years later, Union Pacific Engine 6946 is retired to the Feather River Railroad Museum at Portola, California, to become a towering monument to that technology.
Well, Mayor, I'd like to present you with this beautiful locomotive behind me, the 6946. And for the non-railroad buffs, this is the largest diesel locomotive ever constructed. 6,600 horsepower, and you have the pleasure of getting the first locomotive of this type that we've retired.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very, very much. I am awestruck.